Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica with So Many Creations, and today we are talking about makeup. Yes, you read that right. I assume if you've already clicked on this video, you read the description and you know what you are in for. Maybe you stumbled upon this by accident or thought I made a typo. I didn't. So yes, today's video has been, as weird as it may sound, highly requested. I get a lot of comments and compliments and messages about my makeup routine, and especially my eyebrows and my lipstick. So I figured if I was going to talk about it, I might as well show you. Typically this takes me about 20 minutes because it's what I do every single day. This video I'm guessing is going to be around the hour mark because doing makeup and talking and filming is a whole different ballgame. So if you are into weird faces and awkward silence and makeup, stay tuned. If you are here just to be a big old curmudgeon and tell me that I'm wearing too much makeup, I don't have any right to do videos like this, I'm a catfish, whatever the case may be, please kindly exit now. I do not want to spend the rest of eternity having to delete rude comments. I will, but I don't want to. I'm going to go through what I do to do this whole face, but I'm also going to give you some tips and some tricks, things that I wish I had been taught a long time ago. Again, this is probably going to be the last time I do a video like this, so don't worry, the channel is not changing. It's going to stay with sewing and bag making. But if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I'm happy to answer them. And if for some reason this is not enough and you want more of this, I guess let me know. I'm guessing this is going to be the first and only. Every YouTube channel has to have that one odd video. This is gonna be mine. Hi there, welcome to my channel. It is a bag making and sewing channel, but today is going to be about makeup. Yes, you read that right. I assume you already know that because you read the description and you made it past the intro. So here we are, welcome. So just like when it comes to sewing and bag making, in today's video, I'm just going to take you step by step through what I find success in doing. I have all of my makeup laid out here. I'm going to show you each of the products that I use. I've got multiples just in case there's, some others, sometimes I like a few things, just like with sewing, we like more than one thing, maybe different kinds of interfacing or different kinds of thread. So I'm just going to show you what I use here. When it comes to makeup, just to kind of give you a little introduction into why I'm doing this, if it seems a little bit odd and you're watching hoping to get an answer, it is a highly requested video. As strange as that may seem, I do get this request a lot, especially for brows and lips. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do the whole thing for you. I assume that this is gonna be a one and done, unless for some reason some of you want more. I'm highly doubting that that's gonna happen. But anyway, if you like this or if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm gonna have everything linked in the description. So if you want any of the products or want to know what I'm using, or if you can't understand what I said, I'll have them all listed for you so you can go ahead and look at that. Just to kind of give you a background on where this is coming from, aside from being asked for it, I am not a makeup professional by any means. I don't claim to be. I watch a lot of makeup tutorials on YouTube, or at least I used to. I probably don't as much anymore. And I just really enjoy wearing makeup. I have done this and worn makeup since I was a teenager. I look back at some of my earlier looks that I thought were amazing and I do cringe, just like when I look back at some of my earlier bags and they're not that great, but it's okay. We always have to grow. We always have to, move forward. So I feel like I do a pretty good job doing it. I do get a lot of people asking how or feeling intimidated, just like when you're making a bag. If you don't know where to start, it's kind of hard to just jump in. I have a lot of makeup. I do not have all of it with me today. I just have quite a bit of it, but I love high-end makeup. I love drugstore makeup. And so if this is something that you're looking to get into, or you haven't worn in a while, or you just, want to have a routine when when those days come, I'm gonna pretty much for everything have a drugstore equivalent. So that means you can go to your local Target or Walmart or Walgreens, whatever is close to you, and get those items. I do shop a lot at Sephora, which is all high-end, and I also shop at Ulta. If you have one of those near you, they have both. They have high-end on one side and drugstore on the other, so it's kind of an ideal place to go. You can get a little bit of everything. I wear makeup about 5 days a week. If you see me on camera, I have makeup on, obviously, except for today. If you see me filming and you just see my hands, like when I'm doing a bag tutorial, I probably don't have any on. And I do wear it every day that I come to work. Not because I feel like I need to, not because anybody here would care if I did, but because it makes me feel confident. I do have confidence in myself, but I feel like I present myself and carry myself a little bit differently when my makeup is done. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm gonna go through every step that I do. I'm gonna show it to you. I have my mirror right here in front of me, so if I'm looking down, that's why, because I am looking in the mirror. It's very hard to do on camera because of the way the camera is set up. So anyway, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget we will get back to sewing videos real soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the first thing I do every morning, and I am going to put on my little headband here. It is filthy. It really needs to be washed, but this keeps my hair out of my face and keeps all of the products out of my hair for the most part. So not my best look on the internet, but that's okay. So first things first, when it comes to anything that you're going to put on your face, the most important thing is always moisturizer. Take good care of your skin. I have a lot of freckles, but I really don't get breakouts. My skin's pretty soft. I don't really have a lot of issues with my skin. I'm very fortunate in that way, but I also take care of it. I clean it. I don't just, use a makeup wipe. I really take all of my makeup off and I moisturize. This is my favorite. This is from Sunday Riley. It's a heavier moisturizer. You can see it's kind of thick. And I really like this one, especially in the winter time, because I get really dry skin, especially right up here and a little bit down here. You always want to get a good moisturizer. I have already moisturized. I did that before I came here. Before you put makeup on, before you do anything on your face, you want to let your moisturizer set in. If I just put it on right now, it's sitting on the surface, it's not gonna give me the best results with my makeup. So let it sit in at least 10 minutes. Put your moisturizer on, go do some other things, make your coffee, do whatever you need to do. Let it sink in. Mine's probably been on for about a half an hour or so, and I can feel my skin feels soft, but it's not, sitting on top of it. It's really hard to do foundation when your moisturizer isn't set in. So step 2 is primer. If I want to. Now here's the thing when it comes to primer, I don't always wear it. If I have a very long day of filming, or if I'm like teaching, or I'm doing something where I want to make sure that my makeup looks good all day and stays put all day, which it normally does, but some circumstances when you're hot or when you're moving around a lot, it wants to move a little bit too. Sometimes I wear primer. I don't always put it on. I will for today's video. So my favorite from high end, this is from Ulta, is the Porefessional. This is from Benefit. It smells really good too. I can't describe it, just smells good. And then I also like this one. This is e.l.f. It's their Poreless Putty Primer. You can see I like it a lot. This is a drugstore primer, and so I'm just gonna grab a little bit and just put that on. I'm gonna make some of the weirdest faces you've ever seen, and I'm trying to not look at myself when I do that because I can only imagine what it looks like on your end. So if you're here just for comedy, you picked the right video. So that is primer. I don't go too crazy. I just put it on just like moisturizer and just let it sit for a few minutes. So next thing, what most normal people, or most people that you see in any makeup video, do is their eyes. And the reason that they do their eyes is because if you get any fallout from your eyeshadow, or if you're doing a special liner and you mess it up and need to clean it up, it's easier to do that when you don't have foundation on your face. I, on the other hand, always do things a little bit differently, and I actually like to do my foundation first. Maybe I'm a little bit too sloppy with it, I don't know. I just like to put my base on and get my face done, and then I go to eyes. It's just the way that I do it. It's weird, but it's what I do. So I have a few things here to show you when we get into our face. First of all, I have these two. These are, again, from e.l.f. e.l.f. is a great low-end drugstore makeup brand. They do a really, really good job considering how inexpensive they are. I think these are like a few dollars a piece. These are color correcting sticks. This one, the green one, is gonna be if you have acne. I think I'm pretty good today. Sometimes I'll get little breakouts here, I think from wearing masks so much, but you can put a little bit on a breakout. It's gonna hide the redness. This orange one I use under my eyes because I get some dark spots, and rather than put on a ton of concealer, which can get kind of cakey and creasy, I put that in there. And I also have this very strange little freckle right in the corner of my eye that will look like a dark spot, so I just cover it up. I put my orange on first. My light just changed colors. I'm not sure why it did that. Next up is going to be concealer. Now, again, most people put on foundation and then concealer. I actually put my concealer on first. The reason is I don't like getting cakey and creasing under my eyes, which I feel like if I'm putting layer on top of layer, I get. The other reason is I don't want stark white, shadows under my eyes, and that happens a lot. I notice if you're wearing the wrong color concealer, sometimes people go so light that it's like almost white, and in certain pictures it will show and you'll get like this weird raccoon eyes. Not really a fan of that. So I take my concealer, and I don't do a ton because you don't need to put concealer all over the place, okay? So concealer, I just put a little bit here and a little right there in the corner just to kind of lift my eye, and that's it. That's the amount of concealer I put on. You will see a lot of videos where girls much younger than me put big V's, like all this concealer. I don't find that I need it. So as far as foundation is concerned, first of all, let's talk about matching. Because if you are somebody like myself, born in the 80s and wearing makeup in the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, you were probably misled on how to pick your foundation color. Unfortunately, we didn't really think too far. So a lot of people said to match the inside of your wrist, which as you can see is not very close to my skin color. It's very white. It doesn't see the sun very often. A lot of other people will just go right to their face and match their face. And as you can see, between my freckles and some of the redness, if I tried to match that, it would be a very odd color. So what you want to try and match is your neck, because you want to blend your foundation into your neck. You don't want to have this line here. The better it matches your neck, the better it's going to look. I will warn you, once I put my full face of foundation on, I'm going to look more ghostly than I already do. I'm going to look like a pancake because I don't have any color, but it's okay. It will get better. Just trust the process. So on the high end, I love the Fenty Beauty Profilter. This is a really nice foundation. It is a liquid. It is really dirty, but I use this one quite a bit. This I think is my second or third jar, and I am shade 150, which is almost ghostly. It's close down there. But what I've been using a lot lately, and this is a drugstore find that somebody had mentioned as a dupe for a high end, and I'm obsessed with it. I think this is like the fourth one I've bought, is the Covergirl Olay Simply Ageless. It's a cream foundation. The only unfortunate thing is you don't get a ton in here. I think that's probably why I've gone through so much, but it's very moisturizing. It sits well, it blends really nicely. This is the one I've been using for months now, and this is shade 220 Creamy Natural. So it matches my neck. I do mine with a brush, which is also very dirty. This is why I'm not a makeup YouTuber, because I'm not fully prepared for this. So you can use a makeup sponge if you prefer. If you're gonna use a makeup sponge, you're going to be dabbing. I like to use a brush, and I like to kind of swirl my foundation on. So I'm just gonna get some on here and put a little on my face. A little goes a long way. Remember, you don't need to put on so much that you can't blend it in or that you're looking really cakey. That's not the look that we're going for. Just like when you salt your food, put on a little bit, add more as needed. So I'm just gonna start out with just a little bit here. And I do my entire face, including my eyelids. The reason is I don't put any kind of primer on my eyelids for my eyeshadow. I just use foundation. We'll get into that in a minute. So I'm just going to blend, and I'm blending up. I'm swirling, I'm blending up into my hairline, and then I'm gonna get right in here. This is where I'm gonna start making weird faces. My apologies, or you're welcome. And I'm just gonna blend. And I'm blending right down into my jawline, into the hairline, into the jawline, because I don't wanna have this very stark line of makeup all the way around my face. So, get right into the corner of my eye, my nose. And there's going to be some awkward silence here as well, because it's very hard to put your makeup on and talk. So, blending. Now, if I feel like there's a spot where I need some more, I can add some more, but I kind of like the less is more approach when it comes to foundation. So, I got like a crust in my eyeball. That's gross. Okay, so I'm gonna use that makeup sponge, get that out, and I'm just gonna dab around my eyes and just dab, just to blend that in, especially right here, right around my nose where I get some creasing. I just wanna blend that in really nicely. Okay, so step one, done. And my brush really needs to be washed. Now I do look pretty pale, but I am blending nicely into my jawline so I don't have any harsh lines here, and that's what we want. If I feel like I need any more concealer, if I've really had a rough night, I can put on a little bit more. I will go very, very sparingly. Sometimes just use my finger to dab it in, but you know, I am a human being and I am okay with some of my freckles and my dark lines showing through. I'm just trying to get a more even face. I am very rosy, so that's how and it's uneven, so I just want to look a little bit more even. So next step, totally optional. You do not need to do this. You can, and I'm gonna do it just so that you see it, but trust me, you can skip this. If you want to skip the primer, if you want to skip anything else during this, it's your makeup routine, but you do not need to do this step, especially because I'm gonna do this twice. So because I have not set anything and I still have my liquids and my creams on, now if I want to do anything else that has a cream, I'm going to do that now. Once I put powder on, I don't want to do anything that's creamy because it can get really cakey and messy. We don't want to do that. So I do have, these are from Nudestix. I have a contour and I have a blush. So my contour is this one right here, this deep one. This is called Deep Maple A. Oh, I get it, Deep Maple A. And then this one is in the nude. So when it comes to blush, I mean, I feel like you can't ever have enough blush, but I like not so pink and not too orange. I kind of like somewhere in between there, nice peachy kind of neutrals. So if I'm going to do any cream contour, what I'm gonna do is, whoops, is a little bit up at the top of my forehead here and a little here under my cheeks. I'm not gonna go too crazy. You can watch tons of videos where they contour everything and make their nose look smaller and all that. I'm not doing that. So my nose is my nose. I also like to put on my blush. And here's the next makeup lesson that no one really taught us all properly. We were always taught to do this and smile and put our blush right on the apples of our cheeks. Don't do that. The reason is that drags your face down. It makes it look fuller. It doesn't look as good. You want your blush up high. As strange as that may seem, that's where you want your blush. So once I have that on, I'm gonna take another brush, okay? And I just use, this is kind of a dense brush, and I blend. And just blend that in. If this was the only product that I was wearing for blush or contour, I would definitely add a little bit more, because this is, you know, it's just a little bit. It's just a subtle, you know, kind of a look here, because I am going to put powder on and I'm going to do a little bit more with the powder. So I do not have lighting like this at home, so it's really strange to actually be able to see what I'm doing. Maybe I should do my makeup here every day. All right. Just gonna blend that in my hairline a little bit more, and whatever I mess up, my bangs will cover. So, all right, now I'm not quite as pale. So I'm done with creams. I'm done with anything creamy. I am now gonna get into powder products. So I'm gonna put that away. And now we're gonna go forward and put powder on and take a sip of coffee. Coffee is very important when you do your makeup. So first things first is powder, setting powder. This is one that I will not budge on. This one you can't buy in a store, you have to buy online, but I absolutely love it. This is from Thrive Causemetics. You see it's spelled Cause, because they donate to women's shelters, they donate makeup and some of their proceeds. I think they're a great company, plus this product is awesome. So this is a loose translucent powder. So that's how the container looks. And I'm going to do something called baking. and it's not the kind of baking that we all like to do. This has nothing to do with an oven or cookies or anything like that. I'm gonna take and put that on like that, kind of heavy, and I'm putting this under my eyes, and it's kind of heavy, okay? And sometimes I'll do a little bit more. And the reason I'm doing this is 2 reasons actually, come on, is I'm helping to bake the makeup underneath my eyes, which means I'm not gonna get creasing later. I don't want to see all those lines and spots and have that all get, you know, cakey and creased at the end of the day. The other reason is when I put my eyeshadow on, if I get any fallout, I'm gonna brush this away later. So now that I have a little bit less on here, I go right over my eyelids, and now my eyelids are primed and ready for eyeshadow. And then I'm gonna just do my T-zone, and your T-zone is exactly that. It's a T like this. So I'm just gonna powder under here. And it's sitting on top and it looks really weird, but we're gonna brush it away when we're done. We're gonna let it sit there and kind of settle. And the reason I don't do out here, I'm going to put on blush and contour, and I don't need powder everywhere. I don't need so much powder that I am, you know, one color. So I'm gonna let that sit, and then I'm gonna do my eyes. So I had an incident with a pair of scissors, and so now I have this thing. I don't know how to get rid of that. Okay, so detour, of course. So a couple things I have in front of me is one of these little remover pads, and it's kind of soaked. I use this Micellar cleansing water. That's how I get off some of my makeup, but I also have this around so when I get anything on my fingers, I can wipe it off. I'm gonna need that for eyeshadow, and I'm gonna need it at the end for lipstick. So I just leave one of those there, and I've got some Q-tips. First thing I'm going to do is put on some eyeshadow. So I'm gonna teach you a real simple way to do eyeshadow. This is beginner proof, goof proof. It's really easy. And all you need is one eyeshadow palette that has some neutral colors. I have browns, I have 2 here. These are Tarte. These are called Tartlet because they're little. This one's In Bloom and this one's Toasted. I'm gonna use the In Bloom today. Toasted just has these pretty warm kind of oranges, okay? This is probably my favorite one. This one right here is kind of cool shades of brown. You can see I have used them a lot. I've hit the pan on a few of them, but I'm gonna show you how to use a couple of shades, a few brushes, and do a really simple eyeshadow look that you can do in like 5 minutes every day. And I have fuzz on my eyelashes. Okay, so first things first, let's look at our brushes. These are the 3 brushes that you would want to invest in if you're doing eyeshadow. You want a fluffy brush like this, you want a flat brush like this one, and then you want a small fluffy brush like this. This one's a little bit more dense, this one's very fluffy, this one's pretty dense. So those 3 brushes, maximum. I have, what is this? These are Morphe. I think I got these from Ulta. And this one, I have no idea the brand. I think it came, this is Farah, I don't know. I think this came in a subscription box. These are easy to find. If you go to Ulta or if you go to your local drugstore, you can go like to e.l.f. or I think it's called Eco Tools. They'll have nice simple brushes. Get some nice ones, but don't worry, you don't have to invest, you know, hundreds of dollars in makeup brushes. I don't, because, you know, I just find what I want. And I have several, I have multiples of all of these. So I just grab these 3. I do have one extra, this little pointy for the very end, but we don't actually have to have this. I'll show you which one you can use instead. So we're gonna take these 3 brushes. I'm gonna take my eyeshadow palette and, okay, first things first, I'm gonna grab this neutral right here. This one's called Smarty Pants. It is a light tan. I'm gonna put it on my brush like this. I don't tap it off. I don't do any of that fancy stuff. And I'm going to put it kind of up from the crease almost to my brow. So just like that. This is kind of my foundation for my eye. Hold your brush out here, not here. It's not a pencil. You want to hold it out here. I got fuzzy on my nose. Hold it out here like you're painting. And try to keep your eye open for as much of this as you can. Especially if you're like me and I have what they refer to as a hooded eye. So when you lift right here. You can see I have a little bit of extra skin right there, so it covers my crease. If I close my eye and put my makeup on, it's kind of gonna disappear when I open my eye. So it's just easier if you keep your eye open and just kind of look a little bit downward. Then you can see where everything's going, because if you have hooded eyes like I do, you're gonna lose some of it. So like that, okay? Easy peasy. Same brush is gonna go down here into this kind of medium. This one's called Rebel. And I'm gonna do the same thing, but a little bit lower. Now I'm gonna be down here under my crease, and I'm gonna kind of work that in like this. All right. So I don't wanna bring this one all the way up. And the reason I have that light shade in there is just to make sure that I don't have this, you know, harsh patch of skin up here that doesn't have any color. We just want to add a little bit, okay? So just like that, just darken it up a little bit. And you can stop here if you want. Totally done, stop here, move forward. I'm gonna go on and do a couple more steps, and I'll show you, you know, as you go, how you can build this up. So if you wanna just stop here, stop here. I like to take my little flat brush here, and I'm gonna grab that same color, this medium brown Rebel, and I put it under my eyes. This is when it's gonna get weird. I gotta open my mouth. And just like that, you see, I just put a little bit under. And this helps to change the shape of your eye. It helps to blend everything in. It makes your eye color pop. It does a whole lot of stuff. So just like that, that's how that looks. So again, I can stop here, but I'm gonna go a little bit further. I'm gonna take this little fluffy brush, and I'm gonna grab this color down here, this dark one. It's not, these are almost black. It's this one right here. This is called Leader. I'm gonna grab a little on here, and I'm gonna dab it in the outer corner like that. Just like that. And then I'm gonna take this brush, so I've done that in both outer corners, and I'm just gonna kind of blend that up into the crease and along the lash line. Just like that. Okay. All right. When you do that little bit of dark in that outer corner, it also changes your eye shape, makes them pop a little bit more. All right. And last but not least, I am going to take a tiny bit. I'm going to grab that flat brush again, same dark color right here, and I'm just going to bring a little into the outer corner, just like a third of my lower lash line, like that. And the last thing that I do is I'm gonna take this color right here, which I have used a lot, and I also broke it. I don't know how, I only broke this one. This is called Funny Girl. I'm gonna put a little bit on my finger, and I'm gonna dab it right in the middle, okay? It's gonna look weird for a minute. Just gonna dab that right in the middle of my eyelid, and then wipe that off on my little pad here. Take that fluffy brush and just work the edges, just like that. Just work around the edges, blend. You always want to blend your eyeshadow because you don't want harsh eyeshadow. And I got something in my eye. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So we're just blending, just blend, okay? And eyeshadow done. Pretty simple. So the next thing is brows, and I love doing brows, and I get asked all the time about brows. As you can see, I don't really have any. I grew up in the 90s, and so I don't really know that I need to tell you any more than that. When you're a teenager between like 94 and 98, this is what your eyebrows look like, if you're lucky enough to have any. So if you're one of the few people in this world that has really great, nice, full eyebrows, you can skip everything. You don't have to do this. Or I use sometimes, or I would if I had better brows. This is called Busy Gal Brows. This is by Tarte. You can find these in, you know, the drugstore as well. This one is a high end, and you just can use this to kind of put them where you want them, add a little bit of color. That doesn't work for me. I don't have enough brow. So, contrary to what everybody on the internet likes right now. I do not like feathery, weird I don't like that. I'm sorry if you like feathery brows. I don't. I like a full brow. I like to make it look like I actually have eyebrows. It just makes me happy. So my favorite pencil, and I don't have a drugstore dupe for this because this is really the only one that I like. This is from Benefit. It's called Precisely My Brow. I have color 4 and color 3.5. It all depends on what my hair color is. Sometimes I go a little darker if my hair is darker. Sometimes I'll go up to 4.5, but they have everything from like light blonde up to black. They have red, so you can find the color that works for you. I'm gonna use 4 today. I feel like my hair is a little bit darker right now, and 3.5 sometimes looks a little bit too light. What I like about this is that it's a really fine pencil, so I can really draw what I want and then fill it in. And that is exactly what I do. I draw in what I want for my eyebrows and then I just fill it in. Again, I just like a full brow. That's just me. I think it's all of those years I didn't have one. So I just like to make them look good. So if you are filling in your brow and you don't know where to start or where you're supposed to stop, how they're supposed to look, I'm gonna show you a real quick trick on how to kind of map it out. So first thing you're gonna do is take your pencil, you're gonna put it against the outside of your nose, straight up past the corner of your eye, and that is gonna be where your brow starts, just like that, okay? Put it next to my nose, straight up outside of my eye, and I put a little dot. And you see those? That's where they're gonna start. Then from the tip of my nose across my pupil to about right here, diagonally, that's where the arch is gonna be. So tip of my nose across to my pupil, right here, that's where my brows are going to arch. And then tip of my nose, outside corner, right here, that's where they're gonna stop. Tip of the nose, outside corner of the eye, right here, and that's where they're gonna stop. So that's where my eyebrow is ideally going to go. And this is how I do it. And I don't know if I can talk while I do this, so I'm gonna try to explain it and then I'll show you. I draw my top line, I draw my bottom line, I connect them, I fill them in. That's really it. So I'm going to just draw this. And I think this is probably why people like to do their eyes first in case they mess this up. Then they don't have to worry about fixing their foundation, but I'm pretty used to this at this point. So like that. And then I do the bottom. Like that, and my little dot's off a little bit, so I'll just brush it away. It's a really creamy, smooth pencil, works really nicely. So that's where my eyebrow is gonna be. And then I'm gonna do this one. Now remember, eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So you get them as close as you can. If they're not identical, doesn't matter. Just do the best you can. And I always have a harder time on the left side because I'm right-handed and I'm awkwardly leaning. And especially right now, I'm not used to doing this sitting down. So a moment of silence, please. All right, hang on. Okay, that's much better. It's very hard to do. I'm used to doing this standing up in front of a mirror and my elbow is hitting my table. So, and this little end is a little spoolie, so you can use that to blend in. So now that I have them drawn out, fill them in. I told you there was going to be awkward silence. So this is, again, this is just how I like to do it, but, and they look really weird right now because my face is so pale. So don't worry, again, trust the process. It's going to get better. So I'm going to do this again. I have heard people talk about other eyebrow pencils that they found in drugstores, but this is the one that I like. This is the only one that I like, and it's taken me years to find it, and I'm just really, really picky about my eyebrows, and this one looks bad, crazy. I almost swore on YouTube. Let me just fix this. I got a little crazy with the arch on that one. So you just have to use what you like. These pencils are probably about $24 a piece. And I know that's kind of expensive, but I like my eyebrows, so. They are sisters. They are maybe half sisters at this point. That's okay. They don't need to be twins, as long as they're not distant cousins. So, coffee. Okay, so now my eyes are done. Now that the eyeshadow and the brows are done, now it is time to take this big old fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna get my hair out of it. I run that down here, and I blend in all that extra powder. Just blend that in. Oh, I don't have all that powder sitting around. All right, do that. Why is there always a big hair on my face? Okay, blend that in, get rid of that excess, and now we are good to go. Okay, so all done. So now let's talk about making me not look so pale. So I have first, I'm gonna do some bronzer. This is Butter Bronzer. This is Physicians Formula. As you can see, I really like it. This one is medium. Well, it doesn't actually say, just says bronzer, 6676. So I love this bronzer. It smells really good. It smells like an island. So I'm gonna use a little bit of this to make me not look so pale, make it look like I actually went out in the sun. I have this big old fluffy brush here. It's kind of dense. And I'm gonna swirl this around. First things first is I put a little down here, hide my double chins. Put a little shadow down there, all right? Then I'm gonna take a little bit on kind of the side and blend that in, and then I blend it up into my hair to get a little bit of definition on my cheeks, all right? And just kind of blend that in, keep blending. There's always excess on the brush, I'm blending, and then I'm gonna do that again and put that up here. Now I already contoured up here, so I don't really need more, but if you did not do the cream, that's where you want to put your bronzer. So bronzer is going to be cheekbones, just underneath. It's going to be up the hairline and a little down here if you want to hide your chins. Okay. Next, blush, my favorite, my absolute favorite. I love blush. I can never get enough. So I have a few here that I really like. I don't have any drugstore, but it's not a hard thing to find. You can definitely find some drugstore blush. Again, I love a peachy pink. So this one is Ofra, and this is called Bellini. You can see it's like a nice peach color. I also have Patrick Ta. I think I got this in one of those subscription bags. So there's that one, even has a mirror. This is called She's Passionate. So it's like a pinky peach. And then I also have Tarte. This one right here, another pink. And this one is called Glisten. This has a little bit of a shimmer to it. These are matte, so I don't think it really matters because I wear highlighter, and that will be next. So I have my little blush brush. And again, blush goes up. Okay, don't smile and put it here. It's gonna drag your face down. You wanna put your blush up. Put it up here. And then out of a weird habit, I always put excess, I dust my nose. I don't know why. All right, and when I'm all done, I may add more blush because sometimes I do that. So, done. Now, if you want, you can very easily skip the next part, which is highlighter, but I love it. So, two of my favorites, these are actually both drugstore. This is Rach Loves from Pixie. She's actually a YouTuber and I love her channel. If you like makeup tutorials, she's really fun. This is her palette. It looks brand new because I dropped and broke my other one. So I had to buy another one of hers. And I also have this one, which is well loved. It's Wet n Wild. This is Hello Halo in I Met Someone. So it comes in two colors. You can, if you want, use this peachy color and put a little on your cheeks. But what I'm going to do is take this little brush right here, and I'm going to put this one. As you can see, I have loved it a lot. And highlighter goes on the high points of your face. So I put it on top of my cheeks. This is gonna be where light would reflect, okay? On top of my cheeks. I also put it on the tip of my nose, and I put it on the bridge of my nose. And then I also take a little bit and just very lightly up here on the brow bone, okay? So now I have a little bit of reflection, good for camera. If you don't want to do highlighter, that's fine. And earlier I showed you this little dense brush. This is going to be for my inner corners of my eyes. If you don't want to get a fourth brush, you can use this one again. Just wipe off any of the eyeshadow that's on there. So I'm just gonna dab that in here, and I put that right in the inner corner, and it makes my eyes sparkle or something like that. Okay, done, all done. So I still look funny because I don't have any eyeliner or mascara on. So those are probably my favorite things to add because I feel like it actually makes my face look alive. So now I have color in my face, I have color on my eyes, I'm good to go. This is the point where I use setting spray. I like to do this before putting mascara on so that I don't make a mess of my mascara. This is Morphe, the continuous setting mist. There's so many out there. I just like this one because it's a really fine mist. Just spray it and then fan it. All right, and that's just gonna set everything. And especially if you are not using a primer, you wanna use something like that. So let's finish up the eyes and then go on to lips, and then I'm done. Then I can do something with this hair and start my day. So when it comes to eyeliner, I do a couple of things, and again, these are all totally optional. You can do whatever you would like, but if you like how my eye makeup looks, this is what I do. So first thing I do is curl my lashes. And I know that this terrifies people. What you want to remember when you're curling your lashes, I keep my eyelid closed, open it, get my lashes in, and I'm not going onto my eyelid. That's when it hurts. You do not want to put this on your eyelid. So I just do that, okay? It's a very subtle difference, but I find it huge in the end when I have mascara on. So I just curl my lashes, that's it. I see a lot of people curl their lashes when they have mascara on. You can do that very gently, but that is a really good way to rip your eyelashes out. So I try to not do that unless I absolutely have to. And this is when my eyes start to water. So I do that first. Next step is going to be a pencil. I use a pencil on my waterline, and your waterline is the line right at the base of your lashes that almost touches your eye. If this grosses you out, you might want to fast forward a few seconds because I'm going to put this like right in my eye. I'm going to touch my eye. So this is the Urban Decay Glide On pencil. This is the one that I use. I just sharpened it. It's a 24/7 waterproof. It's in color Perversion. I like this one. Find any black pencil that is waterproof because this is going to be really close to your eye and you don't want to have black all over the place. I find that this one stays really well, so I like it. So I am going to put this right here, okay? It is not in my eye. I'm sorry, it's really hard to show you. But the reason I do that is because my eyelashes will look a little bit thicker because I have a base down here. So I'm gonna try to get close for you. It's very hard to do this on camera. All right, so I'm trying to get this right up at the base of the lashes without making a mess. And I did get a little. All right, so I just have that right there, right on the base of my lashes. So you can lift them up or just kind of do that. Don't poke yourself in the eye. So that is my waterline. That one's done now. Now, as far as eyeliner, I'll show you just a regular liner and then I'll show you how I do a wing. I don't do a crazy big wing, but I do a small wing every day. My favorite eyeliners, I do like this one from Thrive Causemetics, the same place I got the powder. This is, I don't know if it has a name. I can't read that. It's just their, oh, it's Lauren. It's called Lauren. It's just black. I love this one because I like the brush. See that? but also I have very sensitive eyes from my allergies, and they get watery sometimes. And I find that this one does not budge for pretty much the entire day. I have to really be touching my eyes a lot to get this one to budge. These two are Drugstore. This is the NYX Professional Epic Ink Eyeliner. I'm going to use that today. And the Maybelline Master Precise All Day. Great pencils, or well, they're liquid. I love the tip on both of these. I think that they work really nicely, and especially if you do not have watery eyes like I do, you should be fine. But these are not going to be for those super long days for me. They just don't last as long for me. I don't think either of them are waterproof necessarily, but you know, they're actually, this one does say it's waterproof, the Epic Ink. I think they're really great. It's just, it's my eyes that fight against me. So I'm gonna use the Epic Ink today. This is in black. All right, this one was leaking for some reason, so I'm just making sure that I don't get black everywhere. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna lift my mirror, is I'm just going to line really close to the lashes, like that. And I'm trying to cover up any of the skin color between the bottom of my lashes and this liner. I want this nice solid black line because it's gonna make my lashes look fuller. Now, if I'm just doing regular eyeliner, no wing, I'm still gonna make it a little bit wider on this end. So I'm just gonna kind of make that a little wider. Like that. And I go in and in line like that, and do the same thing over here. So keep it a little bit thicker at the outside, and you can put it kind of right at the base like that. Right. Just like that. All right, and I can leave it just like this. But I'm gonna show you how to do a really simple wing liner that's not totally overwhelming. So what you're going to do is you're going to work from the bottom lash line towards the end of your eyebrow. So just like this, I'm going to just do a little line like that. Then I'm gonna make that into a triangle, like that. And then I'm gonna fill that in, and then I'm gonna close my eye, and I'm going to kind of fill that gap. So there it is. Because again, I have hooded eyes, if I try to do too much of a wing, I lose part of it. So I'm just kind of keeping it simple. Fill in by my lashes. All right. My eye's watering a little bit, like that. And there is my little wing. Now, wings, those are also sisters, not cousins, because they're never going to be even. So, and especially on this side. So let me try to do this. So from the end of my eyebrow to the bottom lash line, like that, triangle, and fill in the gap. This one's a lot more swoopy than this one. I'll try to fix this. There are days where I do wish that I had not done my foundation because I just want to wipe it all off and start over. But I'm gonna go with it. My wings are never going to be even, and I have already come to terms with that. So I'm just going to dampen this a little bit. Get that little bit out. There they are. Sometimes I will tip my head back in the mirror and look like this. Maybe my eyes are just uneven because they always look good that way and then they look a little bit weird this way. But whatever, so be it. So, mascara. Let's move on to mascara. I brought with me several because I like a lot of mascaras. So, high end, I love this Bad Gal Bang. This is by Benefit. What I like about this is the brush. This is a trial size, but you can see it's got this little kind of short brush. I like that one. You're going to find different ones that you like. This is called Maneater. This is also by Tarte. This is high end. This has a very short, stubby little brush. So I like that one too. My favorite Drugstore is Maybelline, the Falsies Lash Lift. And this has a big fluffy brush. I'm gonna use this one today. And I also like this one right here. This is Wander Beauty, the Mile High Club. This one I actually like for my lower lashes because it has a really small brush. So you don't have to use more than one mascara, but I am extra. When it comes to mascara, I do not ever get waterproof mascara because that is harder to take off than glitter nail polish. And if you know what I'm talking about, you totally understand. So a couple of things when it comes to mascara. I do not look forward and put mascara on because it's much easier to get mascara on my eyelids and I don't want to do that. So I try to look down. I use a little mirror. I'm just going to use this little Tarte mirror that I have, and I actually look down and do my mascara. Let the top dry before I do the bottom. If I get any on my eyelids, I do not touch it right now. Wait until it's dry, and you can take a dry Q-tip or you can take like a little wand like this and you can actually just flake it off. So avoid the temptation to get in there and mess up your eyeshadow. The other thing is, and I remember learning this when I was a kid, you take your mascara and you pump it. Don't pump it. Don't do that to your mascara. You're putting air into it every time you do that, and then you're going to get bacteria in here and you don't want that. So you don't want to put bacteria into your eyes. So and take my mascara, I just wipe off a little bit of excess there. And this is how I do mascara. I can't do the eye shut thing. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. So I take my mirror and I put it right at the base and I kind of push it and wiggle it like that. And then I use the wand to separate the lashes. Other thing that I remember being taught when I was younger is you put on a coat of mascara, you let it dry. Then you come back and put more mascara on. What I found as I've gotten older in doing that is that once it starts to dry, it's harder to get more on without it clumping. So I do all of my mascara while it's wet, then let it dry, and then I go and I do my bottom lashes. So I just do that, brush it through. I'll try to do this over here so you can see. I push and then I wiggle and I pull it up. Push it into the lash line, wiggle, pull it up. And I've got a little on there, I can feel it. I'm going to dip it back in, not pumping it, and get a little bit more. I give this a couple of seconds at most to dry. I'm not sitting and waiting for it to dry in between coats. I just find that that ends up in a disaster. And again, I push and then I wiggle, and you can add a little bit to the back if you want. Like that. And if I separate my lashes now, I don't have to worry about it when it dries, and I don't have to worry about, using my lash comb. So I push and wiggle, pull. And I already feel like a human being. I love having mascara on. I just like having nice, full, dark, black lashes. So I'm just checking everything out. Here's the moment of truth to see how good I do with my eyeliner. And I can see that there is a spot here that I can still see the skin. I like to really have that black. Just filling that in. I don't need to wear false lashes. If I make my regular ones, my actual lashes look really good. And just for fun, I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna do a third coat because I like mascara. And I'm just doing a little bit. These are thin coats. I'm not putting on a ton, and I'm really just working it through. I've got some weird lashes on this eye that like to go in different directions. I don't understand why, but they grow weird. So I'm trying to move them where I want them. I can see this one is like, I don't know. Anybody else have weird eyelashes? Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry. I'm not gonna do anything with my lower until this really dries, just because then I don't have to worry about making a big mess. So my top lashes are all dry. I'm gonna do my bottom lashes. I do use the Mile High Club. You can, again, use the same mascara. I just love this little wand for my lower lashes. I find that it works really nicely. So I'm just gonna go in here. And I'm not looking to do anything crazy with the lower lashes. I'm not trying to get them like super thick and full. I just want them to show, because as you can see, my lashes are blonde and you can't see them. So I just want to make sure that it is very noticeable that I have eyelashes on both lids. That's all. I don't do any kind of eyeliner on my lower line. I just find that it makes my eyes look so much smaller. So I spent enough years doing, you know, black or brown or something really dark on that lower lash line, and it actually just makes my eyes not look open and bright. So there we go. I got something going on over here. This little lash just wants to stick to the top. There we go. Okay, and now that the top is dry, if I have any mascara on there, I'm gonna take my little brush and I'm just gonna flake it off, because it's just easier that way. So there, I'm done. I'm done with everything except lipstick. So I forgot to mention this, chapstick on the entire time, letting my lips get moisturized. I am gonna take that off now because I'm gonna wear a liquid lipstick. And also wanna get off any foundation. There we go. I got this dry spot on my lip right here. So there we go. So here is my favorite lipstick ever. It is a drugstore lipstick. It is the best one I have ever found. When I used to like do shows and teach and stuff, I didn't have the time to sit and fix my lipstick, or every time I take a sip of coffee, have to fix my lipstick. You know, there's nothing worse than looking at a coffee cup sitting next to someone and there's lipstick all over it. So I always would try to find a long-lasting lipstick, and I could never find anything that was truly long-lasting until I discovered liquid lipsticks. The downfall of liquid lipsticks, they do last, but they can dry out your lips. So I don't wear them every day. I really only wear them when I'm filming or teaching. If I wore them 5-6 days out of the week, my lips would be so incredibly dry. So I try not to wear them every single day, but I have tried every one I can find, from high-end to drugstore. I've tried everything possible. And the one that I found, this is my holy grail of lipsticks. Nothing has ever topped this, is this one right here. These are the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. So they're a matte lipstick, so they're not shiny, okay? I have all nudes because that's what I wear. This is Seductress. This is a real light nude. I have this one, which is Amazonian, kind of a medium nude. This is Hazelnut. This was a collection they did, and yeah, it smells like hazelnut, and this one smells like coffee. This one's called the Caramel Collection. So it kind of smells like a caramel latte. And these are 260 hazelnut and 265 caramel collection. There's no name on this one. I don't know why. And this one right here is 75 Fighter. This is probably the darkest that I go. This is all going to depend on your skin tone, what look you like. I don't do bright lipsticks. I've worn red a few times in my life. I don't really like that kind of look on me. I always feel a little bit off. I just don't feel like it makes me look like me, so I like a nude. So today, I think, and obviously I don't wear these all, but I brought them to show you. I think I'm gonna go with Amazonian today, which is a nice nude, not super, super light. I do line my lips, okay? I have here the NYX Professional in Nude Suede Shoes. That's a drugstore. And I also have my favorite one from Urban Decay. You can see it's very small now. This one is called Stark Naked. This is the one that I really like. So I can't talk when I do this. So there, I'm done. I'm done with everything except lipstick. So So I line my lower lip and I do kind of run the pencil on my lip a little bit, and then I do the same thing on my upper lip, especially here on my Cupid's bow. I don't overline my lips. You will hear that and see that a lot. I have pretty full lips, so I don't do that. One thing I forgot, I'm just realizing it, is I didn't put any highlight on my Cupid's bow, which I normally do. I'm gonna take a little bit of this and just put that here, and a little bit more on the end of my nose for good measure. So just put a little bit there. I like how it looks. All right, so I'm just gonna take this, and you can see that's what it looks like, the little applicator. It is liquid. It's gonna go on liquid. Now, I'm just gonna clean up a little here. All right, that is that. So this is still wet. It needs to kind of dry, needs to take a moment to settle. While it's settling, I'm gonna fix my blush, because I told you I always like a little bit of extra blush. I like to feel alive. Plus these studio lights really show off how pale I am. So as this dries, you can see it starts to get a little bit sticky. It's drying, it's settling. Once it's on there, it's not gonna come off. If you put a gloss over this, if you put chapstick on over this, if you put anything like that over your lips, because like I said, they feel a little bit dry sometimes. As you go on and they feel a little dry and you're like, I'm gonna throw some chapstick on, it's gonna take this off. Okay, you can also use that micellar water that I had before to take this off. If I've had enough for the day and I'm done with it and I don't want it on anymore, I'll just put a little bit of chapstick on, give it a second, and I'll wipe it right off with a tissue. So once it's on, it's on. But you can see it still gets a little bit sticky. Sometimes I'll take my little powder, just a little, and I just kind of dab that. It just gets rid of the rest of the stickiness. And here's the best thing. That's all that I got, because it's not 100% dry. So when I drink my coffee and eat during the day, I'm not getting a ton on there. I get a little tiny bit of transfer, but that's it. So I like this because once I put it on in the morning, I don't have to worry about it. I'll wipe it off my hand now. If I give my husband a kiss, if I'm eating, drinking, unless I am eating like a ton and I'm really wiping my mouth over and over and over again, it's really not going anywhere. So that is my makeup routine. That is about an hour of a makeup routine that usually only takes me about 20 minutes, but I'm not usually talking to people while I'm doing it. So I'll fix my bangs here, do something with this hair, and I'm ready to go to work. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it answered all of your makeup questions. If you have any more, I am happy to answer them. Like I said, I'm not a makeup professional. I don't claim to be, but I enjoy it. I really have a great time putting on makeup. If this is something that you want to get into, I hope this is a good, tutorial that you can look back on. If you want any more of this, ? I feel like that's probably a no, but if you do ever want anything else like this, or more dramatic looks, or have anything makeup related that you want me to cover, I will be happy to do that. In the meantime, I'm going to be going back to bag making. I'm going to stick around in that area. I think that's a much more suited area for me, but I did this because it was requested, and also I did this for me because maybe someday I don't want to wear makeup and I want to look back and see how I used to do it. Maybe I'll change my mind. So I hope you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I am here at least once a week, if not more, with bag and sewing related material. You can find us on Facebook Live every Friday at 11 Eastern. And yeah, I'm always happy to hear your suggestions. So if there's anything else you want, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna link all of this stuff in the description box, so you can just click on that and you'll get all the information. And have a good day. Enjoy wearing makeup and bag making. You can do them both. Thank you.